This is either the first supper or the last supper.
First supper in the sports trek. Cheers.
Hey guys, this is our maiden voyage on our Sporttrek 272 VRK.
Yep.
We take these little trips normally when we get a new camper somewhere close to home, close to Walmart and Camping World. Because as you guys, if you've had campers before, you know, first trips don't always go the way you want them to go.
In this case, there's some Dollar Generals nearby.
Stuff where you can get what you need and get parts or a few tools or fuses or whatever.
So basically, we went down to southern Kentucky and camped at Barren River Lake State Park
Resort,
their campground. That's a big long name, and it's really nice down here. It's near Barren River Lake, obviously, but lots to do if you like boating, fishing, jet skiing, kayaking, all that stuff. This is a pretty nice campground. This is actually our first time here. Very simple.
The site that we're in was a cancellation, so we got lucky. Whoever canceled, appreciate it. We got lucky because I got on the phone yesterday at around lunchtime. I'm like, started calling. This is the Corps of there's a couple of Corps of Engineer parks here close, and then I called this park here, and I'm like, we have 2 spots, and we get to talking about them. This is the one we ended up in, and turned out good, and so that should make for a nice weekend. Yeah, so we come right into the Barren River Lake State Resort Park Campground. So we come right in off 31E. It's actually really easy to get in here. We have some B-roll of us coming in.
Yeah, we'll play a little bit of the campground for you, but we're going to do the campground tour in a separate video. Jarrett did that on his e-bike.
Got me an e-bike.
Which we'll talk about later, but we'll do the full tour in a separate video. That way it can be shorter. This is mainly just to break down our first couple days in the Venture Sporttrek, what we think about it, and a couple likes and dislikes. So that'll be the order of the video. We'll just kind of talk about, setting up and how things went, and then a couple likes and dislikes. So setting up, how did that go?
So I've got my Level Mate Pro app. Actually gives me temperature, which is kind of cool. But we're a quarter to a half inch off left to right. So I'm not even going to put anything under it left to right. We just need to level it front to back.
You going inside there? So you didn't pack it correctly?
Well, I'm learning where everything goes. Guys, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm sorry I did not really take my time setting up and video it. It was started to rain as soon as we got here. And we were trying.
It was later Friday afternoon, Friday evening.
Right.
We're tired.
If y'all want to see me go through what I do to set up a video, leave a comment. I'll be happy to show you kind of my process, which is organized chaos. The setup side of this is I'm very spoiled because in the Nautica we pushed a button and then we pushed 2 more buttons and we were set up. And this here you actually kind of got to get out and do the work of actually leveling and setting up.
Yeah, so you have to take this video in with the perspective that this is our 5th camper, and the last one we just came out of was a Class A diesel pusher, the Holiday Rambler Nautica. So we're now in the travel trailer, and we forget some of this setup process and what that's like. I guess we were a little bit spoiled, as you say. Spoiled, as I say.
Coming back from Idaho, and I pulled into a campsite in Nebraska, and I was by myself, and I was beat, and I hit the levelers, hit the slides, walked outside, plugged it in, and this guy was in his travel trailer, and he looks at me and goes, "I hate you."
You've told that story before.
Right, and so I think it was a little like a travel trailer is a little more work when you don't have the auto levelers than a motorhome.
But actually, I mean, I helped you a little bit. You showed me how to use the X-Chocks. X-Chocks, sorry. I haven't used them in forever. Probably never. We
had a set with our very first camper, and I will say these X-Chocks that I have now, a lot of them have a ratchet deal that goes on top of them, and you have to go back and forth, and you can't really put a drill on them. The set that I have, and I put the link in the description below, they're pretty awesome because you can hit them with the electric drill. Yeah. And it doesn't take hardly any time to put them out.
We haven't done this in a while.
No, this is a lot more work than that.
Oh, it's heavy.
Yeah, so you got to
screw it at the same time.
Yeah, and you got to kind of center it.
And you had it kind of low.
Yeah,
man, you gotta be strong.
You can lower it a little bit.
Alright.
You want to hit both wheels, all four need to hit at the same time.
Yeah, I got this. How tight?
Tight.
I don't want to pop a wheel.
You're not gonna pop a wheel. That's probably good.
Oh, it clicked.
That's probably good. That keeps the rock out of the camper.
Yeah, we definitely need that. Alright. It's starting to rain, so I thought I'd put the awning out. At least we'll have a little bit of a dry spot.
Inch up.
Alright.
Well, maybe we're going the wrong way. Seems like a long way up.
There you go. One at a time. Orange blocks definitely bring back memories. Just say when.
When?
Oh, what did I do?
Went up.
Oops.
There you go.
Good?
That way they're not extended quite as far.
Alright. Yeah, I was asking where the snap pads were.
Like they make those.
Jeez. Yeah, thanks to people who don't clean up after their dogs, by the way. I'm not even gonna go there. Camper etiquette, that's all I'm gonna say. Yeah, Jarrett stepped in it. Those Crocs are outside for the next 3 days. So then we realized, you know, your water hose was too short, hence the trip to Dollar General, which we appreciated being close by. And, well, actually got it at the gas station, didn't you?
I went to Zach's. Zach's in Lucas, Kentucky. Nice guy, met him. One thing I will say about the sites that we're in, they're pretty level left to right. And so when we pulled in, this Sporttrek has a thing, and I think it's only on Ventures or just to say Ventures. It's called Level Mate Pro.
It's all new to me.
Yeah, it's all new to me too, and it's actually a pretty cool app. But it shows you like how you're leveling. So we're off like a 1/4 inch. I'm like, I'm not getting out all the blocks for a 1/4 inch, and so that really kind of took some work out of it. We do like that app so far. I'm not 100% sure that it's completely accurate yet. I might need to kind of adjust it some. I think I have that ability to do so. But
it was pretty easy.
Yeah, we made it real simple to get leveled in. This thing's got electric stabilizer jacks again, which made it super easy to get those put in. And then they're down. We kind of get that set up, and it really, honestly, didn't take that long to level. It was more of for me. It was like, well, again, you know, if you guys have camped, like the water hose was like by my house, and so I'm like, why is it all the way
Down
over?
the street.
Why is it all the way over there? My hose ain't long enough. And so, you know, I had to run to get a hose. So, but you always kind of have that stuff when you camp, and and I got tickled. We went right from setup to dinner.
Camping 101. We know this. However, sometimes you're just not prepared. The water hose is too short. Jarrett went to go grab one, and because of that, I don't have warm water to defrost my steaks, so they're a little frozen. But you guys, have no fear. Valerie knows what she's doing, because I do have bottled water, and I do have my handy dandy electric hot water kettle. So we will have boiling water in about 30 seconds. How do you like me now? Stopped at a really cool barbecue place. If you are coming to this area near Barren River Lake, it's called Split Tree Barbecue. It's right like to the east of Bowling Green. It's on Scottsville Road.
It's on Scottsville Road.
Yeah, and we just picked up some side dishes, so that made dinner really easy. So we grabbed, some mac and cheese and green beans and things like that. So.
And I'd grabbed some beef tenderloin out of the freezer, and so we actually ate really well last night.
Yeah, and it was quick and easy. So if you just bring your steaks, you can pick up some sides on the way if you're coming this way. But it was really good.
And so
turned out good.
But I got tickled last night.
Felt better.
Yeah, we were much less scratchy with each other. But I got tickled last night because I'm like, I went and bought me a brand new, I had a brand new grill. Never opened a box. I just threw it in the back seat of the truck. So this is how this yesterday went. And
That's
everything
fun.
that I got out last night to set up, I had to unwrap and unpack. And I'm like,
That's how it happens on the first trip. And we've seen people do it, and we've done it before, and sometimes you're still like opening the packages. It'll be a late dinner, but I think we fully expected all of this. All of this. Seriously. Like, I'm not even disappointed that I forgot coffee. Just kidding. I brought the French press with the good stuff. Black Rifle. You got the grill out brand new. We had to swing in Camping World to pick it up on our way out here because we were just last minute. We had this booked and we ran out of time. Same with bed sheets. We didn't have any bed sheets. And I'll say this about Camping World's bedding: it ain't that great. So, but it was cheap. I mean cheap. By cheap, I mean $9 for sheets, and then our comforter was $18, which I fully intend on replacing. But because this was last minute, we're like, whatever. I mean, we got the whole bed done for $20-$30, and you can tell.
Yeah, it feels like it. But you know what? And you know we're just trying to figure out, like,
we just need to get in this thing and see how it works.
and see how it works, see what doesn't work, what do I need to fix, what do we need to start putting on the list, what don't we have, which is a whole laundry list of stuff.
Yep.
And so,
And as we go along our, first 2 days, we keep a list of what we forgot, what we need. And I can put in, I don't know how yet, I'll figure out if I can put a screenshot or something for now. I keep a laundry list of camping must-haves, and I think I've mentioned this before in a video, but I can put it up for you guys to screenshot or something. But it's just a basic rundown of the things I know we need, and we go through that and check mark. And there was just some things that we didn't have time to pick up, and sheets was one of them. But then we had a fire.
so
And you bought the wrong kind of fire starters that we never bought before, by the way.
no, so I bought these fire starters. Like, hey, there's 36 in the box. This ought to last me a long time. And that was like my initial and only thought about them, to be honest with you. And then so last night, while picking up my second hose to hook up the water to the camper, Mr. Zach at Zach's Market or whatever it's called, sells firewood. So I'm like, hey, can I get a couple of bundles of firewood while I'm here? And I'm pretty for sure he called somebody and said, hey, can you get that wood off the bottom of the lake? I don't understand.
We say that every time.
Oh my gosh.
The wood's always wet. You guys know this who camp very much. It's like, we could not get this fire started. Well, you couldn't. I was busy doing something else. I don't know what.
These fire starter logs look like...
I'm busy making margaritas.
You were making margaritas. That fire starter log I got last night, they look like, what's those little wafer cookies that are like soft and...
Vanilla wafers?
Yeah, but they're like long. They're like rectangles. They're like...
Oh, the cheapy ones? Like with the cream in the middle or something?
Yes.
I don't know. Little sugar wafers.
Yeah, so that's what my fire starter logs look like.
They did. That's funny.
And so I'm like, all right. So I throw a couple in.
Might as well just use sugar wafers.
Right. So I throw a couple in the fire, kind of get on my wood set like I want, get them lit, and I'm like, all right, this is going to be, I'm used to my other Duraflame ones that I like so much. And I go do something else. No fire. So I mess with it again.
It's just smoking for like an hour.
For like 4 hours.
Well, it was a while.
And so finally I dumped the whole box of fire starters in. All 36, whatever I had left out of the
And that's how many it took. It ended up pretty nice.
We had a nice night last night. So
it was beautiful. The stars were out. Our first night, I will say, I did not sleep good. The mattress sucks, and as you guys know, they always kind of do. You just need to buy a new mattress, plain and simple. And again, we just haven't had time to get a new one yet, but we are, because this one, I don't even know if I want to sleep on it tonight, but I'm gonna have to. So
we're gonna order a new one tomorrow morning when we get home. So that's just is what it is.
New mattress. Already put that on your list because you're gonna need it. But
the funny thing is, it doesn't matter if you buy a travel trailer or
a Class A whatever. Like
you're gonna need a mattress.
We needed a new mattress. Anyway, morning comes around. I will say that this light up here in the skylight, if you like darkness in the morning and you need to sleep in, they might need to change that to a black shade. Because like 6 a.m., 5:36, that sun, the light was coming right in. It was very bright right away, which I appreciate because I like the daylight. But if you want to sleep, I don't know how you cover that one up. But Breakfast went well. All the components of the kitchen worked fine.
You turn it.
Will I turn it?
Yes, please. There it goes. Roll it.
You have to push in
Yeah.
and turn at the same time.
Yeah.
Oh, they're looking good. Also, I wanted to say that this trash can is an odd shape, but it really fits very well in here. I got it at Target, you know, kind of slopes a little bit. It's that Bright Room brand, and it's a 5.8 gallon, but it fits an 8-gallon trash bag. Anyways, it fits perfectly under this little area here. But when I'm cooking, I don't like to keep opening the door to throw trash away, and so that little nook right there seems to fit it fine while I'm cooking. Although I do have plans to kind of build a little built-in shelf right there, so we'll see. We're gonna see how my induction cookware does on the gas stove too. I love the Magma pots, but this is the Ninja skillets, so we'll see how they work out on the gas. So there's not a whole lot of room here. I've got the bigger skillet I was gonna put my potatoes in. As you see, it's a 3-burner, and the wall is there too, so there's not really a lot of room to do a larger skillet and a smaller one. I could probably do 2 smaller ones, but I don't have another small one yet. So we're just gonna do it old-fashioned camping style and cook my eggs first, and then set those aside and we'll do the potatoes. I'm noticing here my bottoms are getting a little browner than the rest, but that's not surprising. It could be my pan, but it might just be it's a camping oven. While our breakfast gets cold, because in true Jarrett fashion, he put these refrigerated potatoes. Yeah, he put these refrigerated potatoes in the freezer, so I had to cook them last, get them de-thawed. I'm also making the gravy, which I probably could have done at home because, like I said, there's not enough space here and I don't have a saucepan yet. But that's why, again, my handy dandy electric water kettle is gonna come to the rescue again. We're just gonna mix it right here in this bowl.
She put the potatoes in the freezer last night. Don't let her lie to you.
I'm pretty sure it was you.
No, it was you.
So this hot water kettle holds 2 cups of water, and a bottle of water here looks like it has about a half cup left of cold water, so that's what I need to add when this is all mixed, and it's perfect. This one's a little smaller than I prefer, this kettle, but I like that it's small, it's lightweight, it's pretty dang handy. We learned how to use these when we were in Ukraine. I mean, hot water for everything. I can't stress enough how much I like induction cookware, and this Ninja stuff is so great. It doesn't stick. Before I put these potatoes in, I literally just scooped out those eggs right in, you know, the egg residue right up into the trash can. Just got to reuse it right away. I love this stuff. My point is, it's worth it to pay the extra money to get good camping cookware, for sure. Breakfast for 2 is ready.
Breakfast for 4.
The shower was great. You said you really liked the shower. It is actually, the square, the rectangle, is actually a little bit more spacious than what we had in our Holiday Rambler.
Yeah, well, the thing with the Holiday Rambler had this stupid seat in it.
It's because of the seat.
Yeah. They put these seats in
You
there.
guys know I hate the seats. Like, just don't even put the plastic affixed permanent seat that I can't move. I like the ones that fold down. Those are fine. But this is great. We actually changed the... Well,
Shower
we didn't
curtain.
change, but we hung the shower curtain instead of using that, like, wobbly slide door. And it worked out great.
Yeah, and so that shower was good. One thing I was surprised about the Sporttrek doesn't, at least this one doesn't have it, is we're not on full hookup. So you know when you're camping on, if you guys are camping, you gotta conserve tank space. And this is the first shower I've ever had that didn't have the little button on the shower head where you can shut it off.
Yeah.
And soap up. Get wet, soap up,
You
turn
just
it
gotta
on.
turn the knobs off and turn it back on. But that's if you don't have full hookups. Then we got our kayaks out and went kayaking a little bit. Water was, walkable distance, although there was a hill, so we just drove them down. It was much easier. Hey guys, there's our site right there, 51A, and we are right here to the boat dock.
Our kayaks was like the biggest hit of the weekend.
It really was. And so we have put together another short video on our inflatable kayaks that we'll post later, because as we're like pumping these up, taking them down, bringing them back, they're sitting out, they're drying out. We probably had 5-6 people ask about our kayaks today. Like, what are those? Cool. Like, wow, they fold up. It's easy to store.
And we've had these things forever, and they're awesome because they're inflatable. So you deflate them. I got bags that they come with, and you put them in. And we've had them underneath the Holiday Rambler. I've had them under the Georgetown.
We've had them a while.
Yeah,
we really like them, but we just don't use them that much. So
well, we're not normally
caught attention today.
We're not normally at a lake, so I rode my e-bike some. Like that thing.
Yeah, well, we're going to get into the e-bikes more too, because these are new to us as well. So there'll be more videos about those too. We're so excited about our toys. Guys, this is why we're choosing, the lesser expensive way to camp with the travel trailer, because that way we can have more toys. Sometimes you just can't have it all. You can't have it all. Unless you're,
Jeff
Elon,
Bezos.
Whoever. Some guys can have it all, but some guys can't.
I got you and I got it all.
Oh, thanks. Okay.
So I'm gonna go first on
The dislikes.
This is our dislike video, and so we have less dislikes and more likes. It looks
I don't know. They look like pretty even to me. Go ahead.
So
Dislikes.
no outside storage, and so that's a big thing for me. Is like,
I mean, there's not no.
very
little.
Very little. I'm used to my basement, so I've got stuff crammed in the back of my truck. And
But you have the truck.
I have the truck. Not having the basement and the more ride trays where I can kind of.
I miss those more ride
Oh
trays.
man! And so
those
it's
are pretty awesome.
And because with it being a travel trailer without automatic levelers, you carry blocks and X chocks and all this other stuff, and so I just wish they would put a little more room in them. But I also understand that we're 31.6 long, and the inside space of this thing is really, really great.
That's the pro to it. The inside storage is awesome.
But you have to give up other places. And my next dislike are the blinds.
The blinds. I like the blinds. And they're black and simple and they look nice. But this was one of my dislikes too, because we miss our MCD shades where you had the daytime shade and the nighttime shade. This is either all daylight or all nighttime.
My last dislikes, I only have 3 dislikes. And I don't think there's anything you can do to it, and maybe there is. I've seen some posts where people's put like jacks under them, like automotive jacks where you hold cars up, but it bounces.
It does bounce.
And our first camper bounced the Sierra fifth wheel, which had kind of a similar leveling deal, and this one bounces, and it doesn't look.
It's not a big deal.
I paid.
We're spoiled.
We're spoiled, and so I'm not. It's just one of those things like it's just got to get used to it.
Yeah.
And so I think those to me are my dislikes of the first trip.
Yeah. It's not bad though.
Mm-mm.
It's actually not bad, but it
No.
does have some rock to it.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe we'll figure it out a little better too. Like you said, you can get the jack stabilized a little tighter, maybe.
Yeah, it's just a matter of me just really kind of figuring it out and playing with it and seeing what works. Because every camper that I've had, you would think that they would be the same, but they're all just a little bit different on how they act, and so I'll figure this one out.
So my dislikes. Oh, that silly space under the bathroom door. I'll try to put it in B-roll, but I don't know why there's like a couple inches under that bathroom door. I'm sure there's rhyme and reason to it, but like you can see feet, so it's kind of like, in a public bathroom stall when you can see people's feet. I just don't like that.
Well, I guess because
this doesn't feel completely private. I don't care for it.
She's
It's
either
weird.
at the sink or at the crapper.
Couldn't they have just given that door like all the way to the ground? But maybe it has to do something with the circulation or I don't know, fire safety. I don't really know. Okay, my other dislike is actually the size of the bathroom, because now we've had some small bathrooms before. But when we were looking at travel trailers, and we showed some of them, but very few, because we looked at a lot in the last 6 months in our previous video that we did, like weighing the pros and cons of these travel trailers. But we saw a lot of them that had that big square bathroom in the rear, and I loved those. Like the Atlas had it, and then we saw one at Camping World that was a Rockwood, and I loved that Rockwood.
Actually, the other Venture that we looked at had the big square bathroom, but had a rounded chair.
Well, that bathroom wasn't as big as the Atlas in Rockwood, but because it's like the whole square, like tons of space, the square shower, and like movable space, cabinetry. The thing about those travel trailers, and the reason we chose against them, was because we felt like in those cases, those particular trailers only had one couch, and they were both like reclining couches. There was no like dinette to make into a bed, and that was huge for us because we need something for another, you know, for a daughter to sleep.
Right.
At least one daughter. And, you know, the second, fine, yeah, you can make the couch a bed, but like in those layouts, if you were to put a couch in there that did like a fold out bed, then you'd be like climbing over that person in the middle of the night to get to the bathroom. Like they just weren't laid out to meet our specific needs. But man, those campers were great. Those bathrooms were great. It's a small bathroom, but the shower is
Makes
fine.
up for it.
It really makes up for it. My last dislike is there's only 2 electrical plugs in the kitchen. One on the wall behind the sink and one up under the cabinet. In this whole main living space, I have not found any more except for the one in the couch, which that's cool because you can at least charge your phones. There's USBs and a regular like socket, but like that's it. Nothing under the dinette. So like when we go to work on our computers here,
Well, that's
I don't
dumb.
know. Yeah, exactly.
I guess I'll have to plug it into the couch behind us. I don't know.
And there's only one.
Maybe there's a plug behind the couch.
I don't think we thought of that because when we were weighing our decisions on our next camper, we seriously were considering like some kind of office space. And when we ruled that out, I think we forgot to at least make sure we had a place to plug in a laptop somewhere.
I guess I can get my extension cord out and plug it in a power pedestal and run the extension cord through the window. We'll just really redneck it up.
It's camping and you can't have it all, but this is a really nice travel trailer so far. I think our last 2 days we've decided we like it. You want me to go first?
Yep.
Since mine are here. I love the kitchen. I love the rear kitchen. I love the open space. There's a lot of cabinetry. I love it. It's great. Everything worked well first time. Fridge, microwave, stove. I love the tub sink. Everything's great. Love, love, love. I love the bedroom space. What did I write down about it?
It's cozy.
It's cozy. The viewing area out that window. I thought for a while that pad in the window seat would be kind of hard, but it's not near as hard as that dang mattress. I promise you that mattress is just one step above sleeping on the ground. The pad in the window is softer. I might sleep there tonight.
I think if you did have someone extra, they could sleep there. Or if you had a small dog or a dog, that could be the dog bed. But here's where you can access your pass-through without going outside if it's pouring down rain. That's kind of cool.
It is a good space to retreat, and that's why we chose this camper, because if our teen girls come or one comes or whatever, you know, teenagers, they like to go have their space, so they can go back in our room, watch TV when we put one up, you know, close the door and have their space if they want. And I think that's what we didn't like about that 271 Sporttrek VMB, because it didn't have like, I mean, it did have the extra bedroom with the barn doors, but like
There
was no like retreat space.
There was
really.
nowhere to go.
Yeah, and this really is great. Like the fireplace is nice. There's a ton of storage. I've already kind of figured out where our clothes go. We have a utility closet. That whole room is awesome. The pantry is my next like. I love the pantry. It's got a ton of space. We didn't even touch being able to use all that space yet. It was just the two of us for 2 days. We didn't need that much, so it's pretty empty right now.
It actually has a bigger pantry than what we had in the Nautica.
Well, yeah, Class A's just don't have a lot of pantry space. You gotta.
At least ours did.
Yeah, you gotta pick and choose if that's important to you
almost
when
like
you're
this-
picking a Class A.
I almost feel like this kitchen is bigger.
Yeah, and we want to say right off the bat too that we're not knocking Holiday Rambler at all. We
We
love
loved it.
that camper
Mhm.
and actually miss it. We'll talk more about that later because we're also gonna do another video on the pros and cons of, you know, spending that much money and having the diesel pusher or spending less, and just, you know, the differences, because it's give and take. Oh, my next like is that I think that front door window is prepped for a Lippert privacy shade. It
is.
says it is.
Says it is.
That's cool. It didn't come with it, but it's prepped for one, so I like that.
Like, dude, Venture, spend $50. And put it on.
Yeah.
I will say this, and comparing, you know, and a lot of this video is we're talking about our Holiday Rambler. We've talked about it a ton. But, and one of my big dislikes about our Holiday Rambler is the whole front of that coach had 2 vents, 2 usable vents. I don't know what engineer thought that would be great when you consider that all the glass to that camper was up front. You know, it just gets hot. And going into one of my big likes about this camper is we're 31.6. 31.6. I have 2 ducted ACs, and this joker on a 90-degree day
Has stayed cool.
Has stayed nice.
It has.
And I really appreciate that. So I don't know if it has to do with their insulation package on these, because these are supposed to be really well insulated, and it being smaller with 2 ACs. But I really like that about this one, is that it is it just stays cool. And one I was kind of worried about is we're only on 30 amp, and we've been able to run both ACs and not have any issues of blowing breakers. My next big like about this thing is it's just simple. And there's really nothing on here that's like overbearing. Like if I can get the slide in and it's got air in the tires, I can get it home. And the Holiday Rambler, even the Georgetown, had so many systems on it that, you know, you were kind of, depending on what went wrong, you were at the mercy of whoever could get to you.
Yeah.
And so the Holiday Rambler never left us stranded. The Georgetown
Did once, but it was a freak thing.
Let's just say thank God we got to pull into the driveway. Sometimes things don't always go as planned, do they?
I check into the KOA and jump in and grab the gear shifter to the camper to pull, you know, put it in drive and move forward, and yeah, it broke. We're gonna start this bad boy. I'm gonna climb under it. I'm gonna put it in gear while Valerie holds the brake. Hopefully it doesn't run over me. I'm gonna climb out from underneath of it, and we're leaving.
Yeah, it was stranded until I got Valerie to be brave enough to do something I needed her to do to unstrand us.
You guys can watch that video. It's in our video and saying goodbye to the Georgetown.
Yeah, anyway, it's kind of interesting. I had to climb under it to put it under gear, but I had to get under the camper to put it in gear. So,
you're just saying that, like, this has less that can maybe go.
Yeah, I mean, like, if the slides don't go in, I can run them in by hand. So, you know, like, if it's got air in the tires, I can get this joker home. And that's what I like about it. And honestly, like, well, I've been kind of looking around today, and I'm like, if I got a test light and a box of fuses and like a couple of screwdrivers, I can probably fix just about anything on this camper. And I appreciate that, because, you know, we looked at some of those Super C's with the emasculator pumps and all the other stuff going on. I'm like, and while all that stuff is great, and I'm not knocking it, it's also something else to go wrong.
We're definitely not knocking it, because it still might be in our future.
No, 100%. So
all that stuff's great. We're just saying that it's great also to have simplicity.
my next big like is, with it being only 31 foot, it's actually pretty easy to level. And I kind of forgot that about fifth wheels and travel trailers, that you have a ton of adjustment front to back to get them level. Unlike a motorhome, you know, you have to kind of really watch what you're doing, or if not, you're going to have both like tires off the ground, which is a big no-no. And so I do appreciate that this sucker's only 31.6 long. We got level pretty easy, and it was not really a big deal. And, you know, this campsite we're on, kind of the site kind of has a crown, and we just kind of parked with the crown, and honestly, no big deal. And had we been in a motorhome, it would have been a bigger deal, because there would have been some tires.
Well, we would have chosen a different site probably.
My next big like about this particular camper is there's no carpet in it. I really appreciate that it's all vinyl flooring.
Yes.
And that it's easy to clean up. You can clean your floor with a broom, and I just goes back to that simplicity of things.
Yeah.
And I just really do appreciate it. All right, guys, we really have enjoyed our camper this week. This weekend, it's been a pretty successful trip. Everything worked like it should, and we appreciate you listening to us ramble on about what we feel, what we like and dislike.
Hopefully, it's helpful to you guys too if you're looking at this specific travel trailer. We like it so far.
Oh, like and subscribe. Appreciate it.
See you guys.
So a lot of people ask us about these, and we'll show you here in a little bit. We've had these like 5 years, so these are definitely
Used.
time tested. But these
And
are,
even repaired.
and we've even had them repaired.